welcome back to the Squats and Sushi podcast. We are your hosts, Sammy and
Annabel, today we want to talk to you all about how to manage during the holidays, be it Diwali, which just happened, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's, which is coming up. So,
so what to do specifically, I guess, with nutrition. I mean, we can go a bit into training as well. But it's one of those things that I feel like if you're someone who, has the goal, let's say, of losing body fat or you're just into fitness in general, it can be a very stressful time because you're
mhm,
trying to stick to your goals, but you know that you're going to have to go off plan because you want to spend some time with family, you're having a dinner
yeah.
or something. So we just thought it'd be a good idea to cover a few of the things that you need to consider and how to kind of go about it.
It's hard because, like, holidays are very food focused, aren't they? Or we make it.
Yeah,
And I think the important thing you can easily enjoy because take the month of December. How many holidays are it? It's two. It's Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. If you think about it in a large scheme of things, 2 days is nothing in a month.
yeah,
You can
exactly.
easily enjoy. But what happens and why people get very overwhelmed or like get this anxiety when Christmas comes along is because they end up, what am I trying to say? Like they can't eat like an adult. They can't just eat a plate and then have some dessert and that's it and enjoy, be present with family. They end up making it like this big thing where they're going to eat three entire plates and the entire cake or pie.
Yeah,
And it doesn't have to be that way. Why do you think that happens?
100%. I think just to add to that as well, is that what sometimes happens is when it's like the week before Christmas, people go, oh, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to kind of have this week off and just start properly again in January. I think that's another mentality that people have is they kind of just, rather than keeping it, like you said, to 2 days, it ends up
They'll
being,
make like a week
yeah.
of it.
And I think one to answer the question about that, I think it's because of a lot of the things that you see. So you go into shops, you see all these foods that are usually not there. People start selling a lot more kind of um, Christmassy foods, in
Right.
shops. Start buying them, and you kind of go off track. But to answer Annabelle's question about why does it happen that people can't just behave like an adult, and have the dinner, have just the same amount as they usually would on any day, but obviously it's just a bit different food, and then just leave it there. And I think the problem with sometimes with being someone who's kind of has this focus on health, fitness, is most of the year you're really focusing on being as healthy as possible, right? And
Mhm.
you sometimes say no to a lot of occasions, you don't really let yourself kind of relax. And
Mhm.
because of that, when there is an occasion that you've decided to partake in, you end up going like, okay, it's Christmas, I don't have any occasions coming up, so this is my only chance to basically have everything,
Everything that my heart desires.
yeah, get it out of my system, and then basically I'll go back on plan and I'll be fine. And this is why I personally think it's so important to allow yourself to, go to different occasions and learn to just control yourself, because you'll be surprised. But like, if you learn how to control yourself, you won't even gain weight necessarily after something
Mhm.
like Christmas. So it's just about, I think, incorporating those kind of things on a daily basis. So if you're someone who follows a diet plan, it may be wise to have a flexible diet, because then that allows you to, okay, so what? There's like mince. So in England, during Christmas, you have something called a mince pie. And it's a typical Christmas dessert. I don't know if you get it in the US.
No.
But it's literally like a little pie. It's like literally that big, but it's like, it looks like a pie. And
Okay.
inside, I need to send you some of these. Inside, you have a mixture of raisins. I don't know if you like raisins. Raisins, like quite like cinnamony taste, mixed with some other stuff. And because you can buy them in the shop, I actually have been buying them over the last week, and I've just been having them every day, just one, and I have it with like some tea. So I'm not even tempted to overeat them or have like 5 of them on the day because I've
You
already.
incorporate a little bit, at least.
Sorry?
You're not tempted to have five because you incorporate it a little bit every day. Yeah.
And there's nothing really that I can think of on Christmas that, I'm gonna overindulge on because, it's turkey. That's something I have on a daily basis.
Sammy, I'm so sorry. Could you pause or like continue the subject?
Going off of. But
Okay.
yeah, so if you incorporate things that you have, like, if you want to have a mince pie, if you incorporate it leading up to Christmas, or what do you usually have on Christmas? Like turkey, potato, like these are foods that I eat on a daily basis. Because I'm not on a meal plan and I eat things I enjoy every day, I'm
Right.
not tempted to just like use Christmas as an excuse to then just like eat everything I see.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have those foods anyway. So I think my best advice, if you're someone who feels that whenever there's an occasion, you end up going crazy, you end up eating loads, one thing you can incorporate is that if you're in a deficit and you're then having Christmas, you're most likely going to overeat because you've been dieting and now all of a sudden you have Christmas. So something I saw quite interesting on Instagram, someone made a post about it and they're like, leading up to Christmas, like the week before, go to maintenance calories because then you're just maintaining where you're at, but you're then less likely to eat more on Christmas Day because you've been eating at maintenance for a week. So you don't have that initial like,
Just like urge.
yeah. So that's one tip. And then another tip is like if there's certain foods that are available in the supermarket leading up to the Christmas day, just have some. Like I've been having that mince pie once a day. And
I
now,
can have gingerbread quite often. Yeah.
yeah. So I think it's just techniques to use like to your advantage,
Yeah. So if someone was on a deficit, is that what you would do? Number one tip would be get back on maintenance
Yeah.
or like kind of have a diet. I guess would that be considered a diet break?
Um Potentially. I think diet break usually refers to when it's a bit longer than 1 week. Um
Okay.
but I think having a week at maintenance is not going to do you any harm.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, it does depend on the person. There's some people who just don't even care. Like if it's Christmas, they don't care. But
Yeah.
some people, if it's like a huge thing and they're very food focused, just always they're just a foodie, it
Mm.
might be wise for them then to go on higher calories. Or you can do something where if they have set macros, maybe play around with the macros. Like if the foods that they're gonna eat is gonna be very high carb, maybe put their carbs up, put their fats down, or put their
Lower their fats. Mm-hmm.
or something else that you can do if you're someone who tends to like find it difficult to control yourself, increase your protein because if you have more protein you're most likely going to be full, because protein is very satiating. So yeah,
That's a
that's,
good one.
yeah.
Yeah,
um
a lot of people, especially here in the States, because we do Thanksgiving, right? So you'll hear a lot of people overeat on Thanksgiving. They'll take that day, and then they'll say, and that's where they start from there. They screw up until the next year, until New Year's comes around, because they're like, oh, Thanksgiving, and
yeah,
then 24 days until Christmas. That's 24 days. Why are you just throwing that out? It's
it's a very
insane.
common thing. It's a very common thing, and like I'm not going to lie. um so I've been now training, I would say 6 on going on to 7 years soon.
Mhm.
And the way that I used to be around Christmas time a few years ago compared to now is so different. So because I used to constantly be on diet plans, I was very obsessed with you know saying no to people if there's an occasion and stuff. Whenever it would come to like Christmas or birthday, I would genuinely even eat when I wasn't hungry just because it was there. And I'm like, I'm
Mm,
visiting my family. When I go back home, I don't have this kind of food around. So this is my only chance to eat this food. So
gotta have it.
I eat all this food. I would feel like crap the next day. It wasn't worth it. And yeah, and you just set yourself back. But now the way I see it is like that food is always going to be there. If I want it, I can have it. I just need to put it in my plan. The whole
That's it.
of Christmas, yes, food is a bonus, but the whole point of Christmas shouldn't be because calories don't count. Sure, you can not track that day if you don't want to. And to be honest, with all my clients, I'm not going to expect them to track on Christmas Day. But what I do expect them to do is not to have 5,000 calories and go crazy, you know? So I just think you need to find that balance, and it does take time and years to kind of learn this, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. How
But
about when it comes to training? Do gyms close on Christmas
yeah,
in the UK?
so Christmas is quite a big thing here, to be honest.
Okay.
And yes, gyms are closed on Christmas, and also the hours kind of
Yeah,
between,
the hour is shortened.
yeah, they shorten the hours like the day before, which is
Uh-huh.
Christmas Eve, and then obviously like the days after leading into New Year, the times are a bit different. So I personally don't think it makes you any more hardcore if you find a gym that's open on Christmas Day and train and go like, I trained on Christmas Day and you didn't. I think if anything, it's a good day to have an excuse to not to train and spend time with your
Yeah.
family, because you're already being so selfish or like going to the gym and stuff. It's nice to have, you know, one day a year when you can actually spend with your family.
100%.
And when it comes to training, like that whole week, if you find it quite difficult to get to the gym, because let's say you have a few families, you know, you have your girlfriend's family, you have your
Right.
boyfriend's family, then you have your own family, then you have a friend's dinner, and you find it very difficult to get the sessions in, my advice would be to do full body sessions, because that way you're targeting every single muscle.
Mhm.
Try and get it done in the morning, because if you don't get it done in the morning, you're not going to get it
You're
done.
not going to do it.
And you know, maybe pick like 2 or 3 days where you can train.
Hmm.
um Go out for walks, you know, because I think that's another thing. Like, what are you going to do with your family and friends? Like, sit all day? Maybe if it's like older people, maybe they won't want to go for a walk, but I think a great thing to do is like to go on a walk, get some steps in. If you're someone who's also doing cardio, I would prioritize training over cardio,
Hmm.
just because with training, and then you, if you eat extra food, like that will be used as fuel. Whereas if you just do cardio, like that's not going to benefit you. You're just going to burn the calories from that cardio session, and then that's it. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Yeah, so that would be my advice. What are your thoughts on?
There really isn't much too when it comes to holidays.
I think the reason people make such a big deal out of it, and I feel like if you go during this time on like Instagram fitness pages, everyone talks about like just have the day off, you know, just relax. And it's because really one day is not going to derail your progress. The problem why it's associated with derailing, right, is because the way people treat the festive period, rather than focusing on just one day.
Sorry. Again.
So the problem is that people, rather than focusing on that one day, they just go, oh, it's the festive period, like I'm just gonna like make every excuse, you know, to
Yeah.
have whatever. And like that's the problem. You get into this kind of I wouldn't even say binge eating pattern, but it kind of is, because it's like you restrict yourself all year round, and then it, whenever there's like a time like Christmas, okay, that's it. That means I can have whatever, you know.
Hmm.
That's just not a nice kind of mentality to live in anyway.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to just have like sustainability in your life and enjoy, you know, more than one occasion a year.
Hmm.
Um,
Kind of like that person. It's the same kind of person.
is the same person.
It's the same kind of person who says that they're going to start their fitness journey in January.
Yeah, exactly.
Why wait until January? Why wait until Christmas is over? You know,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
start now.
You need to just
Pause that, or has this been going on?
it's been going on, but it's fine. I'll edit it. Exactly, and I think that's the biggest problem, is that people just, I guess it's just excuses. Like,
They are all
why
excuses. Yeah.
waste time? Um, but yeah, so there's not that much else to add really. I think the main takeaway is like, you know, allow yourself to have the day off. Why?
Yeah.
It doesn't make you any less of an athlete to have that off. In fact, I think those people who don't have time off are then going to in the future regret that, and
More
you
likely to.
haven't made any memories. It's all been about you. And I'm sorry, but if you gain 1 kilo after like a fat after Christmas, you have a problem. That means you literally ate like 5,000 calories, if not more than that. Yeah, more than that. And then what's another thing, Annabelle? Why do people gain weight after they've had a day off plan?
Oh,
Why does their scale weight go up?
because of so many things.
So many things, exactly.
It could be the sodium. It could be that they had a meal much closer to bedtime than usual, right? You
Yeah,
normally eat at 8, you have it at 10.
yeah.
Water retention?
Water retention, food in your system still.
Mm-hmm.
So
It
I
comes back down. I've had plenty of days where we go out to dinner. We went out to hibachi just the other day.
yeah,
Spiked up a kilo. And then you give it 3, 4 days, it goes back to, it stabilizes.
that's the thing with
What's going to
weight.
end up happening?
It's a constantly fluctuating thing, and like you need to realize that if you do something different to what you usually do, you're going to see your scale weight is going to represent that.
Yes.
So don't let that go, because this is another thing people do. They have a day where, I don't know, let's say they have before Christmas, they have like a work Christmas party. That's quite a common thing. So they go out with their work to celebrate Christmas, and then their weight goes up by 1 kilo. And they see that, and then they go, oh no, it's gone up. Whatever, fuck it. I'm just gonna eat whatever because I've already messed it up.
I already messed up.
And that's the worst thing you can do,
Kind
because
of like the post-show thing. It's very similar.
and it's also happens post show. And I think some of these things actually can be related to like coming out of a diet phase and a post show
It's
period.
more
Like
restrictive. Yeah.
the reason why people rebound post show is because rather than just having their post show meal or 1 day off plan, it turns into like a month off plan. And then they're surprised why they gained weight. And it's because like you've literally been doing the opposite of what you've been doing for the past 5 months prepping,
Yeah.
or 4 months, however long you've been prepping. So yeah, I guess the main message here is like, just be reasonable, don't be an idiot. Yeah, don't be
That's
greedy.
really it.
Don't be
What?
greedy. Don't be greedy.
Greedy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have
And
any?
actually listen to your, would it be hunger cues? Like if you feel full, stop. Like you don't need to finish your plate too. A lot of people feel like they have to finish that plate.
Give it to your dog if you have one. But yeah, no, that's also very true.
Yeah, if you feel satisfied, that's it.
Yeah, and if you're someone who seriously has a problem, like another thing you can do is when you go to a Christmas dinner, eat the protein first, the vegetables first, get yourself full of the stuff that's lower calorie,
Mm-hmm.
and then save a bit of space for like the other things.
Would you also advise someone, let's say they're going, if they have dinner, right, with their family, and they know that they really, really want to enjoy it without eating too much over or feeling whatever, would you tell them to have like less throughout the day and save
Okay,
more
that's
for
a
the
good
evening?
question. Yeah, that's a good thing to talk about. How to go about your day. So
Yeah.
obviously there's 2 ways to go about it. The first one is obviously just not to track that day. So just have the whole day off. The problem with having the whole day off is that sometimes people can be really irresponsible and they go, oh, it's my 1 day off. Like I don't need to track, so I'm just gonna eat whatever.
Oh yeah. So then from the morning on, it starts with that.
Yeah. But for some people, they already mentally kind of know, okay, if I'm going to have more later, I'm just going to eat a bit less for breakfast. But if you're someone who is going to kind of like track, but not really, then definitely save most of your food for the evening, especially if you know that the food is going to be quite high in carbohydrates or quite high in fats.
Yeah.
Just have protein for the first couple meals. Like you could have, I don't know, my go-to, for example, I would have like Greek yogurt for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe put a bit of like berries in there, which is low calorie, right? And it tastes nice. I wouldn't have any fats or any carbohydrates because it's not necessary. And then maybe for lunch I might have like chicken salad. And then But that way, this is another really important point, actually. It's good you asked this. If you don't eat anything all day and then you get to the dinner, not only are you
This
gonna
is gonna happen.
not only are you going to overeat because you're hungry, but you're mentally gonna be like, well, I didn't eat today, so I can have two desserts instead of one. And you're just gonna go like absolutely crazy. So the last thing you want to do is like just not eat all day. So definitely just be smart with your choices. Have some protein,
Mhm.
um, and obviously when it gets to the dinner, you don't really need to worry about it because you've saved food.
You've saved a very good amount.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, do you want to talk about like liquid calories,
Oh, like alcohol?
like drink stuff? Yeah.
On Christmas? Like how to track alcohol?
No, just generally like the whole approach to like how quickly it adds up and stuff.
You can start.
Okay. So, in my opinion, I think something that is very kind of unnoticed, especially if you're someone who usually tracks your nutrition, you don't realize how many calories liquids have. So things like full fat Coke. I don't know why they call it full fat, full sugar Coke.
Oh,
Uh,
that.
uh,
Oh, yeah.
Alcohol, all of that, like because you don't usually have it on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
I had no idea how many calories Coke has until recently. I was like, I
Doesn't
wonder
it have like 240? I was gonna say the same can
so
like
much.
this. This is
Yeah,
0 calories, so zero.
yeah,
But a normal would have like 240, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, when you go to Christmas parties, most of the time they don't go for the diet-friendly options. Most people have regular Coke, or there's alcohol and stuff. And do yourself a favor and skip out on that. Like, sure, maybe have one glass just to like celebrate. You know how you're not gonna have a toast without one, are you?
Yes.
But just realize that those are calories that you could have actually saved and had either with food, like use it on food, or
So
just
either pick. You're gonna have a bunch of drinks at night or food.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And just like again, if you're gonna have one drink, like something I admit I do like is Bailey's.
Oh, I haven't had that in a while.
I haven't had it in a while either, but
It's so good.
kind of want it. So you can just buy like a small bottle if you wanted to, like a tiny one, but it is very high calories. So you just have to be careful with those kind of things.
Hmm.
So my advice is definitely, skip the.
Even wine. Wine, I think every time I have a glass of wine, it's like 32 carb.
Mm,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So just be mindful of that because I think
That's pretty crazy to think about because imagine if I want to have a bottle, 4 glasses right there, and on top of that food,
yeah, that's so many
you
calories.
can easily consume what you said, 5,000 calories
Yeah, it's
in a
very
day.
deep.
Yeah, if you don't keep
Especially if you have like an appetite because let's say you haven't been in a surplus and you've been on deficit calories as an example.
yeah.
So yeah. But no, we just thought we'd kind of, record this episode, kind of talk about all that kind of stuff. Obviously, wish you guys an amazing New Year, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Yeah. What are you doing for your Christmas?
So we are going to mom's for Christmas Eve. My sister, her husband, the baby, they're all going to be there. Kabita and I are going over. My mom gets a little anxious because it's so much. She wants to make so much. So we're actually going on the 23rd to help her cook.
That's really nice. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on the 25th, we'll celebrate with his family. We'll come back to Long Island.
That's really nice.
How about you?
So for me, it's going to be a quiet one because obviously the whole COVID situation in the UK is quite bad. I can't see my family because my family doesn't live in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And my aunt,
Mom's in Russia, right?
my mom is in Belarus, which is
Okay.
right next to Russia.
Yes.
And my aunt, she's celebrating it with her husband's parents, and they're very vulnerable to the virus. So
Oh,
obviously, I can't go. So what I'm doing instead is Seb is coming over to mine with the dog, and we're going to just make like a nice Christmas dinner. You can actually buy, like, I don't know if you can do this in the US, but you can buy like extra small turkeys. It's actually called extra small turkey.
No, I've never seen that small turkey at home.
So small. It's like literally the size of a chicken. We make that because obviously why would we have a massive turkey?
Of course.
We have like different, so for example, I'm in charge of salad, Brussels sprouts. But I have to
Okay.
make it nice. It's not just like Brussels sprout. Like I have to make like Brussels sprouts with like
Roasted Brussels sprouts and yeah.
a nice salad, Brussels sprouts, stuffing, like the stuff that goes inside the chicken. But in
Okay.
the UK, you actually eat stuffing like separately as well. It literally is like a
Oh, in the States they do that too for
yeah,
Thanksgiving. They have separate stuff. Uh-huh.
so I have to make a sweet one and a savory one.
A sweet stuffing?
It's so good. No, no, no. It's basically like it's savory, but it has like apricot in it, for example.
That's nice.
Really nice and like walnut. So the one I'm making is probably going to be like dried apricot with walnut and
Okay.
bread. Like you use bread as the main base.
Nice.
So good. And then Seb is making the something called pigs in blankets. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, little sausages with the
They're
oh, so good. I haven't had them in a very long time.
so good. Are they American? Do they make them in America?
Yeah, we have them.
Oh, you just haven't had Christmas. Oh, you had it last year in the US. Yeah. Last
Yes.
year you did it in the US.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. Oh my God. No, I was in India.
Oh, for Christmas you were in India?
Yes, because I left here.
Uh,
Wait. No. How do I not remember this? No, I left here on I came back here on the 4th, December 4th. So I was here for Christmas because me coming back was my mom's surprise. Yep. I
um,
spent it with
yeah,
my mom.
so he's making the pigs and blankets. He like loves making that. And then he's making potatoes. But he makes the potatoes with like clementine, which is like the orange. So it's
That's different.
like
I've
orange.
never heard of that.
Yeah, so it's not just like plain stuff. Like we always try and make it a bit like special.
Gotcha.
Because we love cooking, so might as well do it. So it'll be kind of fun.
Are you sweet tooth? Is Seb a sweet tooth?
I'm a massive sweet tooth, obviously, but Seb isn't. Seb doesn't like.
No.
No, which is kind of like sometimes it's annoying because you're like, like it has to be like something that like enough for me just because he's not gonna have any.
Not gonna have it.
But I think I'll try and make something that he might have, which would be like, do you know this stuff called stollen?
No.
It's basically this like German bread, and it has raisins in it. And then do you know what marzipan is?
Like that cream cheese type of thing?
No, it's like
No.
It's made from almonds, and it's just this like paste.
Okay.
I don't even know how to explain it, but it basically it's in the middle of all of that. So it's
Right.
like sweet, but at the same time, because it's a bread, it's not really that sweet.
Not overpowering. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I would make loads of desserts, but he's not gonna have it, and then if he's not gonna have it, it's just gonna go to waste.
It's gonna go to waste.
So yeah, so I'll figure something out, but it would be nice because the dog will be there as well. So
Yeah. Are you gonna get a Christmas present for?
I got him a Christmas present. I can actually say because Seb's not gonna listen to this.
He's not gonna see this. What did you get?
I got him basically a glow in the dark collar.
Aww.
Because now it's getting dark outside, so then when he's walking the dog, he can't, like, he can see him obviously, but it's like difficult. And all the dogs in the park have these glow in the dark collars, and I'm like, I think that's a good idea. So I got him a glow in the dark.
That's so sweet. He's gonna love it.
Yeah, so that'll be cute. Yeah. And then we'll like have him open the present. Like apparently he can like rip it up. Like if you just give him like something wrapped in paper, he'll just try and open it anyway. So we'll videotape.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Videotape it.
Oh, sounds like a good day. And what are you guys doing for New Year's?
So for New Year's, we're still not sure because like it does depend on the situation because it's quite bad here. I don't know if you've heard what's happening in the UK, but like thankfully gyms are not shut, but a lot of places are shut. So there really is nothing like the restaurants are all closed.
New York just closed the restaurants again.
Can't do anything. So like for New Year, probably we're either just gonna be here again
Okay.
Just watch fireworks from the balcony, or the other option is just like go somewhere in London to watch. But the London fireworks, like the official London fireworks, are cancelled this year. Yeah, because if they do them,
The New York ball drop, they're still doing it, but it's like an online thing. People aren't gonna be like watching the ball drop.
but it's still gonna happen in real life, is it?
Yes.
Yeah, but you just can't go to watch.
Can go to
I
watch.
think the reason they're not doing it is because they don't want to encourage people to like gather together.
Of course, makes sense.
Yeah, so yeah, it's crazy how, it's so different this year.
I wonder if things are gonna get better. I saw that they started posting show lists for 2021.
Oh yeah. You mean for IFBB?
Yeah, just other federations are releasing it, but it seems like the shows are only going to start in the later half of the year.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so maybe you'll have a late showing. No, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this holiday Christmas edition.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Ho ho ho. Bye guys. See you next one.
See you in the next one.